Namaste everyone, ChristianRLong, life enhancement consultant, giving you a big and beautiful shout out on this. Oh, my friend just sent me a text. On this Wednesday evening, if this is your very first time logging in, every day, at some point in the day, we talk about energy healing, meditation, and practical spirituality. We try to mix it up, keep it interesting. I'm always looking for topics that you guys would like to cover, and doing the stream a little bit later than I usually do, just because. Jessica, namaste, what's up, girl? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're living the dream. We're going to be talking about a very interesting topic that we haven't covered for a very long time, that I thought, why not mix it up? Why not delve into the lower chakras? Why not have a better understanding of the lower nature? So a good friend of mine, who's also a person who heals me and coaches me, just like I'm always saying, hey guys, I can help you with this, help you with that, help you with this. Donna, namaste. I also have somebody that works with me. Mark, namaste. I also have somebody that works with me that does coaching, healing, and what have you. And so we were talking the other day about a movie that she was watching on Netflix, a documentary about a porn star who was one of the most famous Italian porn stars, where his career spanned. Yes, I'm saying it right. His career spanned 30 years. 30 years, and one of the most famous male porn stars in the industry, actually. And the documentary was basically where he came from, Susan, namaste, why he did what he did, and then the end of the movie was the filming of his final adult film, and why he chose the people that were in the film and what have you. And what's very interesting about this, which I could talk about extensively from my life experience, Jennifer, namaste, that sex energy is extremely, extremely, extremely important on the spiritual path, especially for men. Why is that? Because when men orgasm, they release a tremendous amount of energy outward versus conserving and preserving that energy and then circulating it through their body. So sex energy for men and for women feeds the upper chakras, or the upper energy centers, right? So it's extremely important. So from the perspective of this particular adult film star, he spent 30 years professionally releasing his energy, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, decade after decade. So he released a tremendous amount of energy. Hugo, namaste. You still in Arizona? So that energy, if consistently and persistently released, you don't get the opportunity to feed the upper chakras, to activate the heart with more loving energy, to activate the throat with more intelligence, and to activate the crown with more oneness with God, oneness with all. So it adversely affects your spiritual practice, and adversely affects your the development of the upper chakras. But here's the thing. You don't want the pendulum to swing so far from one end to the other end. You want the middle path. So on one end, you could be a professional porn star or a professional adult star, where you're releasing constantly, depleting your reservoirs, and then you don't have enough energy to transmute. Mardell, namaste, you don't have enough energy to transmute or to bring up to feed the upper centers of your energy body, right? But if you swing it over here, so this is the hedonistic approach, this is the constantly releasing approach. If you swing the pendulum over here, you have what is known as the puritanical mindset. This mindset is typically taught that sex is bad, sex is dirty, sex is gross, sex is nasty, sex is of the devil, sex is evil, right? That thought process, that mindset, keeps your sexual energy stuck in the sex chakra, and it builds up day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year in an unhealthy... Alex, Atma Namaste. You're at the Stampede right now. Thanks, girl, for keeping me in the loop. I appreciate that. Is it your birthday? Because you only seem to go to the Stampede on your birthday. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. So much love for you. So, if you swing the pendulum over here where you have a unwholesome attitude towards sex, a puritanical viewpoint towards sex, the energy gets stuck in the sex chakra and it can't transmute upwards. Then what happens? You have a distorted, corrupt viewpoint of sexual energy. So you can think about all the sexual scandals, the sexual affairs that have happened in all religions and all faiths, in the media, celebrities, athletes, all of these things, right? Because there's an unwholesome attitude around sex. So the goal is not to be hedonistic, where you're releasing all the time, or to be puritanical, where you're not releasing, but you have an unhealthy attitude towards sex. The goal is to be right in the middle, the middle path. So there's a class in pranic healing that Grandmaster Cho Koksui came out with many, many years ago called Arhatic Sexual Alchemy. Arhatic Sexual Alchemy, which is a very detailed process on how to not only transmute your sexual energy from the lower chakras up. Jose, Atma Namaste. Good to have you back on, man. It's been a while. It's not only about transmuting your lower sexual energies upwards to feed the heart, the throat, the crown, the brain, right? But it's also on how to merge your energies properly with your partner, your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, somebody you are in a monogamous, committed relationship with. You would do that technique that you learn in that class, Arhatic Sexual Alchemy, which is extremely powerful. It's extremely simple. I wouldn't say it's super simple. It does take some practice to get the technique done properly. But the point I'm making with tonight's talk is, if people have an unhealthy attitude towards sex, right? Because I was talking about this adult film star who was doing his work for 30 years, you might be saying to yourself, well, that's a person who must be a sex addict, or that must be a person who abuses women, doesn't respect women, doesn't respect himself, all of these different preconceived ideas. But energetically speaking, this person has a level of development that is pretty impressive for the kind of work that he does. Big heart chakra, big crown chakra. Actually, Atma Namaste, what happened if you don't partnership with anyone? Good question. Let me cover that in a second. So, the interesting thing about this particular man, that he had been releasing professionally for 30 years. Now he's in his, I believe he's in his mid-50s. He's in his mid-50s, but if you look at him, and you can look him up, his name is Rocco, R-O-C-C-O. If you look at him, his face is sunk in, right? His face is sunk in. His vitality, his kick, his zest, his virility isn't anywhere what it used to be even 10 years ago. Because of constantly releasing that energy, he's not nourishing his physiology. Oga, Atma Namaste. He's not nourishing his physiology. So that's very, very important. So if you look at children and you look at teenagers, men and women, or boys and girls, they have this brightness in their face, the twinkle in their eyes, they have rosy cheeks, they have full plump skin. That's from the excess sexual energy going through their energy body and going through their tissue, right? In Ayurveda, they call it ojas. It's very, very powerful, and it's really the secret to the fountain of youth. Funnily enough, I don't know if that's a word or not. I might have just made a word up. Funnily enough, There is a book written in the 1920s called The Secrets to the Fountain of Youth by Peter Kelder. The Secrets to the Fountain of Youth by Peter Kelder. And in that book, he talks about the Tibetan rites, which we talk about extensively in pranic healing. The reason that book, Tim, Namaste, the reason that book is called The Secrets to the Fountain of Youth is because it teaches you a technique or a series of techniques to hyperstimulate your sex chakra, hyperstimulate your throat chakra, which gives you longevity. Because as we age, the sex chakra becomes depleted of energy, it becomes smaller, and it becomes distorted. In the case of this Tanisha, in the case of this adult film star who had been releasing for 30 years, his ojas is depleted. His sexual prowess has gone down. Think about if he preserved, conserved, and transmuted his sexual energy over that 30 years, how much more he would have evolved spiritually and intellectually. It's not to say that he's a bad person. It's not to say that that he hasn't evolved in this incarnation. He has, but how much more could he have, right? So to go back to Donna's question, what happened if you don't have a partnership with anybody? Meaning, if you want to practice arhatic sexual alchemy, which is taught by Grandmaster Cho Koksui and his instructors, can you do this technique without a partner? Part of it you can. Part of it you can. But to get the full effect, you require a partner. And what's interesting about this particular class, if you want to go from, Christian, I want to take this class tomorrow, to actually taking the class, the preparatory work is about 6 years. 6 years to qualify for that class. Why? Because you have to cleanse yourself physically, emotionally, mentally. You have to increase your energy level. You have to increase your virtues. So you have to be a more virtuous person, right? All of those things lay the foundation for the technique of Arhatic Yoga Sexual Alchemy. But if you were just given the technique with no purification of any kind, you would have a very, very difficult experience. It wouldn't be pleasant, and actually would probably harm you. So that's why it takes 6 years of training, 6 years of training to take that class. I've had the honor to take that class and review it several times, and it's extremely powerful. Very, very powerful class. So yes, you can practice aspects of it by yourself, but to get the full experience of the technique, you'll need a partner. Great question. Very, very good question. So again, our point for tonight is it's not about being hedonistic with our sexual energy and releasing all the time. And it's also not about being puritanical and having a negative viewpoint on sexuality. The goal is to be right in the middle, the path of the Tao, the middle path that Lord Buddha refers to, right in the middle. Now, there are people, you're welcome, Donna, there are people, there are instructors, there are spiritual practitioners in the world who do not release at all. And it could be for several reasons. They could have a very low sex drive, right? So they don't have a lot of sexual energy to begin with. So if they're not releasing, it takes a long time for the energy to build up and to even go upwards, right? To feed the heart, to feed the throat, to feed the brain, the crown, etc., right? But for the people who have, Rupa, Namaste, for the people who have very high sex drives, but they consciously choose not to release, they need to practice techniques to transmute it. So what do I mean by this? So in the Philippines, I believe this was in the Philippines, I'm pretty sure. So Grandmaster Cho Koksui is a Grandmaster of Energy. His specialty is how to manipulate energy for healing purposes of all kinds, right? And so if you're a priest or you're a nun, what have you made the vow of? You've made the vow of chastity, right? So meaning no sexual partners and no masturbation of any kind, right? So no orgasms, no releasing that sexual energy. But every time you meditate, what are they doing all day long, every single day, month, year, decade of their lives? They're focusing on God. As you focus on God, what happens? The crown gets really, really big. A downpour of spiritual energy enters your energy body. It goes down, 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 down to the lower chakras. It awakens Kundalini energy. And then the Kundalini energy rides on your sex energy. I'm not going to get too technical, too detailed. You can learn about this more in different classes in pranic healing, which I highly recommend taking. So, if you have a negative viewpoint about sex, you've taken the vow of chastity, you have a negative viewpoint on sex. Sex is bad, sex is dirty, sex is unwholesome, sex is not holy, right? That sex energy gets stuck, but you're still meditating, you're still focusing on God, so more and more and more energy is pouring down, building up in your sex chakra, but it's staying there. It's not moving up. So, at this particular monastery that Grandmaster Choa Kok-Sui visited, over 80% of the nuns had had hysterectomies, and something like over 60% of the priests had prostate problems. Hysterectomies for the nuns, prostate problems for the priests. Why? Because the sex energy had been built up over decades of not releasing, and the congestion was affecting the physical organs. But because in the Christian text, the specific technique to transmute the energy was not revealed, right? It was not revealed. So, Master Choa, being a Grand Master of Energy, several of the nuns and the priests, he helped them transmute that energy that had been stored up for 20, 30, 40 years, transmuted upwards to the upper chakras, right? And some of these nuns, not all, some of these nuns and some of these priests achieved illumination, achieved enlightenment because of the energy that they transmuted from the lower chakras to the upper chakras. Think about that. So Ashley says, if I have to wait 6 years to take this class, isn't this harmful to my health? Isn't this harmful to my health? Nina, I'm a namaste. Ashley, rephrase your question. So her question is, so if I have to wait 6 years to take this class, isn't this harmful to my health? It's not harmful. Are you saying the class itself is harmful? Or are you asking something different? The reason it takes 6 years to take the class is to prep your vehicles, plural, your physical vehicle, your emotional vehicle, your mental vehicle, and your spiritual vehicle to handle that kind of connection with another person who is at your level or above. So it's kind of like, what would be a way of looking at it? It would be like if you... It's like if you had never done a handstand before, and then all of a sudden I run you through an Olympic level routine, where you're not just doing handstands, you're doing backflips and round-offs and twists and turns and things that your body has never been trained to do. What would happen? You would end up hurting yourself, breaking or twisting your wrist or your ankle or your hips or your neck or whatever, right? It would not be good for you. But if you had proper training, you had the proper foundational technique, and then you practice those techniques, then not only could you do backflips and handstands and round-offs and everything else, but you could do that and much, much more, and enjoy the process of doing it like a gymnast would. Does that make sense? So I hope that answers your question. But this is a fascinating topic. A fascinating topic that, unfortunately, our society, the United States or the Western world, has a very unhealthy attitude around sex. That sex is dirty, sex is unwholesome, sex is intimidating, scary, abusive, manipulative, all of these not so good lower vibrational energies. But if a person can have a mindset around sex, that sex is good, sex is natural, sex is fantastic, but sex must be regulated and practiced with moderation. If that can be your mindset around sex, you can go and have fun, it can be enjoyable, while at the same time you save a portion of it and you transmute it upwards. The saving and transmuting is more important for men than it is for women. Men release the energy. Women are naturally tantric. Okay? So that's our little conversation today. Please share this live stream if you got value from it. On your personal page, your business page, whatever. We're always looking to add additional value. If you have an idea of topics that you would like us to cover, keep in mind, we talk about energy healing, meditation, practical spirituality, which are in and of themselves gigantic bodies of knowledge. Some of the biggest, you could say, bodies of knowledge in the world. So never gets boring to talk about. We can always go deeper. I have to be very careful because a lot of the higher teachings, you could probably say all of the higher teachings, I'm not qualified to share with you guys publicly or at all. So my job as a leader in training, my job as a healer, my job as a disciple of Grandmaster Chogo Kokusui is to plant seeds. Is to plant seeds into your consciousness, give you ideas, give you things to think about that you've never thought about before, and hopefully open your mind up to new doorways of possibilities and new doorways of thinking. Jennifer, Abba Namaste, you're late to the party, girl. You're going to have to watch the talk when we sign off, which I think you'll thoroughly enjoy. One of my favorite topics that I've been struggling with, been empowered by, suffered a lot from, gained a lot of clarity around myself and around life. It's a very, very interesting topic, the lower nature. Alicia, Atma Namaste, girl. How are you? So, if you have questions about this topic, please let me know. And again, what we do in these streams is more overview. We don't give you exact technique. The exact techniques are revealed in the classes of pranic healing and the higher classes of Arhatic Yoga and the Arhatic Yoga retreats. So we don't cover specific techniques per se on these live streams because I'm not qualified or authorized to do so. And these are not my teachings, these are my teacher's teachings. So it's all about intellectual honesty and non-stealing. So, that being said, if you guys are in need of healing, feel free to contact me at ChristianRLong.com/services, ChristianRLong.com/services. Schedule a distant pranic healing session any time of day or night. Not really. I pretty much work from 10 a.m. Mountain Time to 6 p.m. Mountain Time, Monday through Friday, and occasionally do healings on the weekends. But, you know, baby needs some time off occasionally. So that's it, guys. Hope you're well. I will talk to you tomorrow. We do these live streams each and every day for the year of 2019 anyways. And looking forward to sharing with you some more information tomorrow. So this is ChristianRLong, Life Enhancement Consultant, wishing you a beautiful Wednesday night And by the way, right below this video, if you're watching this on Facebook, right below this video is our weekly newsletter that I think I spent about 2 hours today on the weekly newsletter talking about the relationship with that your guru points to the path and your job is to walk the path. So I hope you enjoy the newsletter. That's it, guys. Atma. Namaste. Bye-bye.